is ruthless.
What would happen if you took the DNA of all the world's worst, super killers, and created this one perfect killer? And then I thought, what would happen if this guy escaped?
Shall we play a game?
One of the things I think that makes Essence of Echoes a unique film is, although it's told through a traditional horror/thriller method, it's got some very interesting surprises, such as issues of cloning, issues of making this perfect serial killers, and what goes into the criminal mind.
Essence of Echoes is a very dark story, but kind of a government experiment gone wrong.
Another thing that I kind of wanted to hint at is, and this is more an afterthought, I hope, in people's minds, is what can happen, when you go messing with technology and messing with people's genes.
Terror can be around the next corner.
I'm very proud of the fact that that in writing the film, we came up with a female-driven lead character, and Sharice Baker Bernard did an amazing job in such a short time of playing Agent Julia Gates.
She's an FBI agent. She kind of came up through the ranks, and she worked really hard, and she's really smart, and she's tough, but she has a lot of, well, like everyone, she has her weaknesses and her vulnerabilities.
Mike Worth, who plays the character of Agent Kyle McShinsky, comes from a martial arts background. So I was real happy when we could get him, because I wanted somebody that was real physical and that could do a great job during the action sequences, but I wanted somebody that could act. It's hard to find actors who can deliver, a real believable, kind of lovable character.
Sometimes you have to have a little part of yourself you see in the character, and when I see that, then I think I can do this. I mean, I'm not one of these guys that likes to take roles that are just so out there that it's a challenge to do, because and then it's your ego doing it, But if I feel something compelling about it, and in this case there was something compelling about his character, that's why I kind of migrated the script.
When I was coming up with a villain for Essence of Echoes, aside from the kind of character I wanted, Birch, who plays the figure, he has these amazing eyes. He has this kind of look about him that's almost airy and almost sinister.
The character was very difficult and therefore very appealing. And when Dustin came to me and said, "Hey, I wrote this with you in mind," just jumped on. It was great.
Terror lives in shadows.
The opening scene, the Morehouse crime scene, is probably the most important scene of the film for me in terms of establishing everything. And I really wanted to pull the audience in and feel, the first time we open that door and they're shining the light around the room with those flashlights, waiting to see what this body's going to look like. It's been there for several days, and how the agents go about their process. Set the tone for who this killer is, how he goes about doing what he does, and then how the FBI agents go about doing what they do.
Gentlemen, remember to work from the outside in, please.
When we're at the Morehouse crime scene, the FBI agents are led to believe that this guy's kind of sloppy. Yet when they end on the carving in the desktop that says, "Shall we play a game?" they realize there's more to this guy than meets the eye. The Jennifer Bowles crime scene kind of carries this forward and really lets the FBI know that he's not only playing a game, but he's playing with them. He's a lot smarter than they're giving him credit for, and it kind of sets the tone for, you're going to have to play my game, I'm not going to play yours. You're going to have to come to me, I'm not going to come to you. This film is about redemption in a lot of ways for the characters. It's about confronting your past in a whole bunch of different venues, and one of the venues is the unrequited love between Julia Gates and McShinsky.
Kyle here is going to be assisting you at lead on this case.
They obviously have a dark past.
We've got him on loan.
And so, not only do you have a character like Agent Gates, who's struggling in a male-dominated society, who's struggling to do a good job in the division that she's in, then all of a sudden you're having somebody brought in to kind of team up with her because of how the FBI is they're afraid of how they're going to look to the public. So they're bringing somebody in to kind of add a 1-2 punch. And so it's kind of a threatening feeling for Agent Gates to have it not only be a man that comes in and helps head up the investigation, but then her past love.
Terror needs no invitation.
When the audience sees Essence of Echoes, I really think that they're going to see a film, or take away from the experience, a very entertaining film that they can kind of lose themselves in. You know, for an hour and a half, they can be kind of taken on a ride. I think it's a film that's going to offer to them several different themes and several different storylines that kind of culminate in the end to an overall experience. And I'm very proud of that. One of the things I'm most proud about the film is the fact that, you know, you had a cast and crew that were very established, that came together. It's kind of labor of love. And from the executive producers who believed in the project, to the producers, to the film's production designer. Lawrence was there from the very first day the film was greenlit, from the very first day that I started coming up with visual concepts for the film. Lawrence was a guy in this film that wore a lot of hats. He was not only in charge of the look that I was helping me to try and achieve the look that I was going for in the film, but his tireless efforts in the quality and the production value that he put in the film are one of the things that I think helps the film pay off immensely.
Like this, for example,
To kind of nuts and bolts of the crew, such as Mark Maitre's special effects, ultimate effects, you know, pyrotechnics, the stunts that were, you know, put out there by Mitch Gould, the editing, you know, by Dwight Raymond, the sound aspects of the film I think are quite nice. The score that's put out by Kenny Lowry. Not only did he do the score, but he also did the songs in the film as well, and he just has an amazing ear for what fits in kind of for setting an eerie tone.
Hair samples and fingerprints. With any luck, we might even get blood and fiber specimens once we get this to the lab.
What the hell are you doing?
There's something here. Shall we play a game?
2 local Temple City residents were found brutally murdered.
My guess is professional. Exactly.
Kyle here is going to be assisting you at lead on this case.
Michael Worth and Charisse Baker Bernard, starring a psychological thriller.
Gentlemen, this is Special Agent McShinsky. I expect you all treat him with the same lack of respect and rotten disposition you do me.
On a trail of a brutal serial killer.
This was left for a reason, obviously.
I think he knew the killer and he was trying to tell us something.
Well, if he was, let's hope he can tell us from the grave.
The idea was they were taking genes from various criminals to create the perfect killer.
Mommy? Daddy?
A perfect killing machine. Methodical, precise, and shockingly horrific.
I don't want to die!
Essence of Echoes. Shall we play a game?